Hello, welcome to the channel. I hope you're all well. Sorry about the little glitch there. It was all going wrong here for a while. The absurdity of live shows and live broadcasting. This is what's going on. More absurdity in the world, as we know. The war on Iran is going on, and Donald Trump has seen in his infinite wisdom to take this fight to Iran. Take it to their shores. Keir Starmer, UK Prime Minister, British Prime Minister, who's kind of joined in the supporting role, as it were, and there's a few other European leaders have kind of done the same, but many have voiced concerns. Many are wondering what the hell is going on, and is this legal? Regardless of what the intentions are for the American government, I think many people are, certainly legal eagles and possibly legal observers, are wondering, they're kind of rubbing through or scurrying through their books, their legal books, saying, but where's the legality here? What's going on? It does, more and more people seem to be addressing this. There was a European parliamentary person, member of the European Parliament, I believe it's from Belgium, and he was questioning the American government even before the Iran war started. To say, well, hold on, how is it that America can go into all these other countries without UN sanctions? And everybody's supposed to just say, yeah, it's okay. But any other country going into another country without UN sanctions, all of a sudden it's an act of international war. It's an international crime. And this is the same again. You've got to ask yourself, well, this is causing a lot of issue. Obviously, we're talking about Israel, United States doing this, and obviously there's, Iran have been, an issue politically, geopolitically, in that region for many years. They've been attacking nearby neighbours who are deemed to be US sympathisers in that area as well. But the United States have, they've targeted a lot of their military installations, but the collateral damage, the human collateral damage, is always going to be great, isn't it? Regardless of how you want to try and minimise it, it's always going to be a high number. And, we're probably talking into the nearly 1,000 dead already. And, just saying that, it just seems, terrible. But is there an actual United Nations need for this? Does this have to happen? Regardless of the human, if you set aside, which you can't really, this human side of it, if you set aside the potential threat from Iran to neighbouring and also for the world order, what about if we just bring this into dollars and cents, pounds and pennies in terms of the everyday person living? Because this is a threat to world energy, world resources as well. If you start looking in those terms, then you're starting to consider, well, the knock-on effect here is that, they're already talking about energy prices going up. If they haven't gone up already, the knock-on effect where that's going to be. A lot of these oil reserves and gas reserves are supposed to be going to the Far East and the Middle East anyway. It's places like India. They should not be for Europe. So why does it affect here? But it will do, invariably. The installations that Iran have been attacking in, Dubai and Doha and Saudi Arabia and places like that, well, that's definitely going to have a knock-on effect. It's a very fluid situation. Trump seems to think it's going to go on for a few weeks. Nobody seems to know really what's going to happen and what the knock-on effect will be. It just seems as if that we're entering a situation where Donald Trump and the United States can flex their might, and anybody who doesn't go along for the ride, who's not along with them, whether they agree with them in principle or not, they just don't like the tactics. They just don't want to go to war with another country or have missile strikes, as the British government don't, as many other countries don't want to do either. Then all of a sudden you're deemed as being a pariah in terms of the eyes of United States. They've already done it. Trump has basically been saying to the Starmer, well, obviously our relationship isn't as close as I thought it was, because you're not supporting us in exactly the way that we want to be supported. But Trump is acting as if he's just a one-man band. He's going out there anyway and doing it. This is the absurdity of the absurd here. You're playing with people's lives. You're killing people. You're taking countries to the brink of war or into war. You're taking soldiers into war. People, whichever way you look at it, it's going to be, it's not, you're not going to just take out Iran military capability and then just walk away, because that's essentially what he wants to do. Have no kind of legacy there, just to walk away, bomb the hell out of them, bring them to their knees militarily, and then walk away. What do you think that's going to do? What do you think that's going to really, inspire the people of Iran to uprise? And because they're a 50-50 nation anywhere there as well, I would have thought, just like many nations are. So, what, you honestly think that they're going to just let this happen in terms of their own people? What about sympathizers? We've already seen uprising and protests all over the world in terms of sympathy. Do you think this is not going to cause backlash about not only against the United States, but also many parts of the world? Again, this is American foreign policy that is just creating absurdity in the world. I don't see how it can make the world a lot safer. I just don't see it. Maybe in some people's, maybe for some Americans who are kind of isolated, they can feel themselves to be a bit safer, but they're not really, because they're just open to attack, just like anybody else is. So many questions, so many things you want to ask here. So many wonder, what the hell is going on? But there we go. This is the world that we're living in now. I mean, luckily, so far, I'm just looking at the presses here. Luckily, so far, the UK government is just trying to hold it off and play a supporting role in terms of supporting our bases in Cyprus, and many of the other European nations are doing the same. But Trump wants everybody on his side, regardless of what the justification is and the legality of it is. And let's not forget that one nation's legal process is different to another legal nation's process. That's why, in terms of global conflict, it was supposed to be within a UN resolution with a UN backing. The Americans don't seem to, it's almost like they don't even want to be part of that. Don't want to be part of the UN. They're just going to go on anyway, because they've got the military might to be able to just bully their way. And this is very similar. This is very bully boy tactics here. And it puts everybody at risk. I'm not saying it may not be justified, or the actual general idea of nullifying Iran's military capability or the nuclear capability is not a good idea. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the process, the method here, the justification. And whereas many other countries, and the UK government as well, are trying to justify or find a legal reason why or why not to do it. Whereas the Americans don't seem to be finding or publicizing their legal reason for doing it. It just seems absurd again. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like what I do here, keep on watching, and I'll catch you again.